The humans got to know, Manavas, human beings, we are Manavas, they got to know that Brahma is in the teaching mood at the moment. So they come to him. Like you taught the gods, are we like sort of inferior creatures? No, I teach you also. So what do we need to do? We are capable of liberation from the cycle of birth and death. We are capable of becoming gods. So what do we need to? What is our weakness? What is our problem? What is it that we need to fix? And he says the same word again, da. Now these are what are called bija mantras. Bija mantras are syllables. They are actually vibrations. They have no meanings per se. But a bija, if articulated correctly, if you say it correctly, you can feel it have a certain response in your physical body, in your mind, in your emotions, and in your prana. So even when you teach somebody a mantra, the literal word meaning or sentence meaning of the mantra is not important. What is important is how is it affecting the vibration at the physical level, at the mental level, at the emotional level, and at the pranamaya kosha level or the key level. Those are all slightly more complex issues. We'll come to that in time with the grace of God if possible. But a bija, that's how it works. So when he says da, the devas had one level of vibration. So for them the word da meant restraint, self-mastery. The humans are at a different level of vibration, so they thought about it and they realized this means dana. Now dana is mistranslated as charity. It is not charity, it is generosity. To share, to give. One of the first things they teach you in any spiritual process is the universe always takes its price. Nothing comes for free. Anything that you get valuable, the universe will take its price. The Greeks were much more cynical. One of them, Sophocles, I think, said, nothing vast enters into your life without a curse. No, we don't need to be. But the universe does take a price. Nothing comes for free. So the spiritual tradition, all spiritual traditions, the rule was 10% of whatever you make, you immediately give as acknowledgement. Give to the Guru, give to charity, give to whatever nourishes you spiritually. Tithing, it's called tithing. 1/10 of whatever you make, you give as return to society, to the universe. It is a very, very psychologically and spiritually, it is an immensely powerful thing. And those who practice tithing, they find that life becomes much easier in financial terms at least. The money keeps flowing somehow or the other. If you don't, you will find that there are unexpected expenditures, there are unexpected situations. It's just a very ancient spiritual principle. It's just a very, very ancient spiritual principle. It takes time to recognize that it's actually a very good thing. But dana does not mean only that you give the universe its fair price. Dana means if you have something of value, it is your business to share it. If you come to a new set of realizations, if you come to a new accomplishment, it is your responsibility to share it. It is your responsibility to communicate it. Yes, you can ask your fair price. Giving things free is ultimate catastrophe. That never works. In karmic terms, in psychological terms, it never works. Tadayori takai munavanai, summarize saying, nothing in life is so expensive as something given or taken free of charge. Just don't do it. There must be some kind of reciprocity, there must be some. But the responsibility for dana, that when you have some kind of unique value, when you have some kind of unique skill and ability, it is your responsibility to share it with the world. That actually, Vidya Dana is regarded as the highest dana, the sharing of insight, the sharing of wisdom. Vidya doesn't mean knowledge, Vidya means insight, wisdom. So dana, human being understood, manavas understood that the da that applied to them was dana. Because what is the most unattractive human trait? Greediness, selfishness. Greediness is a vibration of selfishness only. Mine, me, I'll keep it, I'll hold on, I'll cling. Miser. The minute we say miser, we have a sense of contempt for that person. Yes? Generous. What a lovely word. It sounds so nice because we are now in active anticipation of a benefit. Miser means I am not going to benefit. Yes? So, just in simple terms, dana. So, to what dana have I done? It's a very, very dangerous question to ask yourself because we realize we are also working usually from miserly mindsets rather than generous mindsets.